So I use Fable 5 inside of Home Assistant, and let's just start calling it Mythos because if it's Mythos with something stripped out, I don't know. I keep saying Mythos, and so I'll just call it Mythos. But I've used this inside of my Home Assistant dashboard. I've used it inside of on my server on multiple things, and it has one-shotted everything. One shot just means if you don't know, I've just given it one simple prompt and it's done exactly what I asked it to do and fix whatever problem it was I had. And some of them have been problems that I've had for about a month that I've tried to personally uh, spend a little time in trying to fix it. And then also at the time I had 4.7 Opus and even tried GPT 5.5 to try to fix some of these issues. And some of them I don't know, just couldn't. But with this Fable 5 Mythos, I can tell you, not only is it better, it communicates better. I mean, personally, I can see the difference because I use these every day. So this is a dashboard. And just for the people that don't know, Home Assistant is basically like having, if you have a different lock on your door and you have a lock on the other door and that's a different company and you got an app for this and another app for that and then you have an app for the lights and an app for the TV and all of that. Home Assistant is a place that puts all of these different apps in one dashboard and you can organize the dashboard how you want. This would be, kind of similar to if you had text messages, emails, Instagram DMs, and YouTube comments all in one pane or one dashboard. It'd be nice to just have all of that in one section to just respond to everything without going to the different applications. So that's what we have here. This is a dashboard that I play around with. You can create your own dashboard and kind of customize it. And this one I just call YouTube World. And it's just a collection of different sensors and the temperatures and batteries and stuff. But I'm going to use Fable 5 specifically to just, hey, show me what you can do and how you can make this dashboard better based off of what's in here and what's not in here. Pull from the other stuff that you don't see. So we'll see what it does. But I also will tell you, I had an issue with this bathroom automation that just it just stopped working for about a month. I even tried Hermes agent to try to fix it. Couldn't fix it. Fable 5. This was a problem. I don't. It was something stupid. I changed the bath. You know how you do everything you can. You're just like, oh, you know what? I'll just mess with it later and give it more time later. I just was done with it. I'm like, hey, you go in the bathroom, push the darn button. I'm not. The automation ain't working. Now everybody in the house coming to me like, hey, Dad, the automation not working. When I go in the bathroom, the lights don't cut on. And hey, you had it good for a while. Push the button. That's what I do. I sit in the. It'd be all dark. I don't. It don't bother me. But that's another story. So I used I was about to say Fabulous. I use Fable 5 to fix this problem. Right here, as you can see, I'm inside of Claude Terminal, inside of my Home Assistant, and I'm on Fable 5 at the top. You can see model kept Fable 5, and it found it. It found exactly what the problem was, and it said basically it was a SmartThings integration that had lost its login credentials, and it fixed it, restarted everything, refreshed. I walked in the bathroom, the light cut on. I know you're like, man, we using this stuff to build rockets and go to other planets and stuff, and you over here trying to fix bathroom automations. Yep, that's me. I want to use it for what I want to use it for, and we should all use it for the stuff that interests us. This is just one thing, obviously, that I'm using it for, but I do believe that if you use it for the thing that you've been trying to do, and I say this a lot, but there could be something that you're trying to build, and you may look at Fable and Opus and all that and say, this stuff is too expensive. But if you can get what you want built and it costs a certain amount versus if you had someone else build it, I believe it would be worth the time and the effort. Use these tools to get the same things done that you're waiting to get done. You're building, it's built, you hook it up to a customer, they use it, they love it, and you get paid and you're done with it. When you have these like breakthrough moments, Here it is right here. It says at the bottom, it says sensor to a more reliable trigger path, example, matter or thread. So basically it's telling me use this instead. When you have these breakthroughs, and let's say you fix something or you build something and you're using this, do slash rename and give this session a name so you can go back to it. That's very important, because when I rename this and I say, I'll call it Fable 5 bathroom automation. Now it's renamed. Now, if I come out of here and I do new session, boom, I'm in a brand new session, right? I can go back to it and just say resume, and it's right here at the top, and it picks right back up where I left off. Okay, so this is like a good Control S or a save inside of this environment. So I always rename, and then once I rename it, whenever I need to resume it again, I do slash resume, and then I have access to right where I left off at. All right, so let's see what it can do with this dashboard. I'll do slash model just to make sure. Yes, I'm on the right model, Fable 5. And remember, the dashboard is YouTube World. And so I'll just tell it, hey, I have a dashboard, YouTube World, blah, blah, blah. All right, it is done. And it basically has given me a, basically a suggestion of everything it's done. It says done, YouTube World is rebuilding live. Refresh the dashboard and you'll see it. And it basically says what you have. So I did this video and I had to redo it because I'm showing you this screen, and this is originally the only thing I saw, and this was I like this, right? And it did do a lot. Just it has the forecast. It has, when you click on this actually hovers over my house. It shows the overview and the typography. It shows the door lock, and this is the one I use the most because obviously it's the front door. But and then it has hooked up the power wattage of all the things that is currently running this. So my computer, the monitor, the soundboard, my storage device, and it shows me at a glance what it is, right? And then it shows over here, and I'm getting to something different because originally this is all I saw was this one pane. And I said, oh, okay, well, what's so special about this? I see the weather. That's nice. I do like this outline, but I'll just go through this. And after this, you'll see exactly what I'm saying. It says, good evening, studio status, time is correct. But it tells me at a glance, there's 12 lights on immediately, right? Front door locked. This is connected here, and then outside raining. It actually is raining. Sunset is 8:30. Motion quiet on set. No movement anywhere. Now this, it's actually about 30 or so sensors. Motion, motion from animals, motion from people, motion from cars, and to see no motion, no movement anywhere. This is a very quick thing to see. And so the video I did originally was just going over this dashboard. I thought this was it, and I was wrong because I've never used this section. I never even paid attention to this. So as I'm editing the video, I look up and I see this and I said, oh my gosh, is this something like a whole new thing? And I click in it, and now I am impressed because I didn't even know that this option was available. And so this is the command center. And I actually have another command center. It must, I don't know, maybe maybe it's pulling from something else, but this is the bathroom suite. So you have master bathroom, hallway bathroom, basement bathroom, all of the information in one pane right here. I have the motion sensors inside of the bathroom. I also have, it has the shower mode. The different lights, the automation, all in this one bathroom. And it shows it's clear. I'm going to run in there real quick just to see what happens. So I ran in the basement bathroom just to see. And as you can see now, it says clear, but these lights cut on. That's the correct thing to do. And I mean, just to see this boys bathroom, vanity, climate trends over the past 24 hours. And this is impressive because to have this type of information now, I can, you know, kind of wrap my head around all of those toggles all over the place, and this is organized in a very clean manner. Um, it has the motion sensor, shower mode, motion lighting, uh, the two automations that I have connected. The temperature in the bathroom is connected in the different lights. This is perfect. And then it had this Power Studio. And I'm like, man, this thing has so much more than I thought. And I originally only seen this, and I was kind of like, oh, okay. Well, I mean, don't get me wrong, this was much better than it was, but to see this now and just to see all of the information that it's pulling from and organizing it. Here's the raw feed, 14-day production log, um, live draw, the bill. Look at this. So this is calculated. This is impressive. But this is, what is this? Oh, the voltage from the power strip that I have. And this is in watts. Okay. But this shows me the devices today, this month, and the monthly costs from the things that I've been using. The base speaker is costing me 2 cents a month. Right? I must need to turn up the bass because clearly I'm not using it. And here is the sound bar. The sound bar, look at that. We need to turn the TV down. That's kids making all that noise. Here's the TV. And so in a month, it shows me it cost $1.60. I mean, I would have never known something like this. And you would say, why do you need something like that? And maybe you don't. I don't know. But to me, I like seeing stuff like this. I like these graphs. I like knowing that I can even have access to this. If I did have something that was spiking the utility bill, I could probably ask it and it'll probably tell me, hey, you know, you're in the bathroom too long. You need to cut that bathroom light off, you know. But this says 24-hour tape in watts, and this shows you all of the different. Basically, this is this right here in a 24-hour span in a digital graph. I'm amazed. And this last one is ops. Wait a minute. What's this say? Ops room. I don't got no ops in the rooms. I don't know why it says that, but battery leaderboard. The devices there, I believe I'm looking at the charge state. So the closet motion sensor is at 34%, and it gives a graph. I've tried to do all kinds of stuff. I've never seen these options even available to me. Temperature sweep. This shows me the temperature through everything. The SmartThings hub that runs a lot of this stuff. The living room area, and then you have automation missing log. Yeah, maybe I can ask more about that and see what that is. And this says basement bathroom clear. Oh, and you can scroll through them. Okay. So the basement bathroom I just ran in. So does it have that? Oh, it does. It says 2 minutes ago. No, that's the hallway. Oh, here it is, 4 minutes. So somebody else ran in this bathroom, and this was about 4 minutes ago. And this gives me like a glance of all of these sensors that I was originally telling you. That's just all throughout the house, right? Now, I would say I'm impressed with this. This is impressive. This is not the normal. I've asked Opus to build stuff, and as you saw what it looked like before, that is what it had built. Okay, and I say, hey, pull in the sensors, make sense of this. But this right here, the clarity, I mean, there's a lot of things that you can do to this. So if you were wanting to organize this stuff, or you were looking at Home Assistant and you was like, man, I wish there was a way to put all of these different logins into one place. This is it. And with Claude Code, you can 100% make this much easier than it would be before. And you trying to connect and code all this stuff up and do the automations yourself. I mean, it's physically just did it, and it didn't take that long. And it took a snapshot of the previous the previous dashboard and saved it. So if I wanted to go back to it and I didn't like this, it could just revert everything exactly like it was. I also have a Skool I'm creating, and this Skool will be like no other Skool because I've been in a lot, I've paid for a lot of them, and I've learned that there's a specific way I wanted to help people, right? I didn't want to create a Skool where it's just a bunch of reading and, and then you just reread and then try to figure stuff out yourself. I want to be able to help individuals one on one and in groups, and then the group also help each other. And, there's things that it just comes natural to me. It's simple to me, right? And for you, we all have different skills, and there may be something that comes simple to you. The purpose of the community is to connect these individuals together, right? So there's something in business that may save you 5 to 10 hours a week if you just knew how to build it or if you could get it done, right? We will work on this in a group or one on one. Not only that, I will also have an accountant, and I will also have another. I would call him a mentor, very successful, does very well, and he will also be in school in his own course, and they all have their own sections, right? I'm doing what I'm good at, and they're doing what they're good at, but we're all in one school. I thought about creating multiple schools and a school for this and a school for that, and no, I said, you know what? Wouldn't it be nice to just have everything right in one place? I don't have to leave and go to, join his next group and his next group and his next group. It will just be this group. All right. So till next time, keep it simple.